Hi, welcome back once again to howtocookgreatfood.com. On the menu today, we're going to make a lentil nut roast. Vegan. It's got some lovely vegetables in it. You can use anything you like, really, any vegetables that goes. We're going to make a beautiful tomato sauce with that. It's really simple. Let's get on with it. Okay, let's have a look at what we have here. Let's look at the essentials first. So you're going to need some lentils. I like these green lentils. They're kind of quite chunky and got a nice bit of fiber to them, but you could use a different type if you want. 1 can of tomatoes, onion, garlic, and I'm using today chili powder and cumin powder. Now the vegetables that you add are entirely up to you. I'm using some green peppers, bell peppers, zucchini, cauliflower, baby corn and carrots, but think about mushrooms or celery, anything goes actually. But so we're going to get started with this with some oil. We're going to add a bit of salt and pepper to this. This is going to be absolutely delicious. Okay, so I've got some oil in there. I'm using a sunflower oil. You could be using something different if you want. We're going to go in with the onion and the carrot. Let's get our hard vegetables in. Garlic. The chili powder and cumin. Again, you could change that if you wanted, no problem. And the cauliflower. 3 minutes, above medium heat. Keep it moving. This is very easy to make, but really, really tasty. There you go, just a few minutes to get those harder vegetables on their way. Next up, we're going to add in our zucchini, the baby corn, the bell peppers. We're going to get some salt in here, some black pepper. And then again, we're going to go for about another 3 or 4 minutes. Any vegetables go, like I say. Any herbs or spices, actually, the same. I'll be back in about 3 or 4 minutes. Keep it moving. There we go. So our lovely selection of vegetables are softening there. We're now going to add in our cooked lentils. Like I say, I like to use this green lentil, which is actually brown, isn't it? But the green lentil, it's got a kind of bit more fiber to it. If you use something like the red lentil, which you can use, it just sort of dies a little bit quicker. Do you know what I mean? It kind of goes to a mush a bit quicker. I think something like this is really good. Okay, another 3 or 4 minutes, keeping it moving. This is going to be great. Okay, this is looking great. Now time for 1 can of tomatoes. In they go. Stay on this heat, which is kind of, above, just above a medium. We're going to go for 5 minutes now. Then we can move on. Okay, off goes the heat. That's looking beautiful. Just going to get in here some chopped parsley. You could be using coriander, dill, basil, anything you want really. I'm just going for some flat leaf parsley in there. Now what we need to do is we need to set this aside, let it cool down a little bit. Once that's done, I can show you what to do with it next. But in the meantime, I'll just show you a couple of other bits. Okay, so let our lentil and vegetable mixture cool down a little bit. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add some walnuts to it, peanuts and breadcrumbs. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop these 2 guys into my RoboCoupe, my kind of multi-chef thing, to break them down. Not as fine as that, but pretty fine. Okay, so I've done my walnuts like so, and my peanuts like so. Now while we've got the machine here, I want to grab our lentil and vegetable mix. I'm also going to get that into the machine and give it a little whiz. Break it down a little bit. Still a bit hot. Okay, so as you can see, that's been blended nicely. Now look, if you've got a few bits in there don't worry about it at all. You know, I've got a bit of corn there and some stuff you can see, and carrots. It doesn't have to be super fine. What we are going to do now is we're going to drop in our nuts. So I'm going to go in with my walnuts. You could be using hazelnuts or something like that if you wanted. Our peanuts. And then the breadcrumbs. You've kind of got to eyeball this really to get it to a nice consistency. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give this a nice mix. And if it's too wet, we're going to add some more breadcrumbs and or nuts. See you in a moment. And there you go. Now I didn't add any more. What you saw me put in is what I used. You want a kind of nice, it needs to be moist, not too wet, but you know, if it's too dry, it's going to be bloody horrible, really disgusting. So nice and moist like that. Tastes amazing. Let's move on. So we're going to need something that can go in the oven, glass, ceramic or metal. I'm using glass, as you can see. And what I've done is I've just oiled that, got a little bit of oil on the tissue and just rubbed it around so it's kind of greased up nicely. Now I'm going to do it in this type. You can do it in a kind of loaf, kind of, you know, much higher. It doesn't matter what shape you do it in. This looks like a perfect size I've chosen here. Okay, push it down. And then this is going to go in your oven. Get this in a preheated oven. Middle shelf, about 200. Just for about 15 to 20 minutes. Everything in there's cooked, isn't it? We're just trying to bring it together a little bit. I'm quite impressed that the size of what we've made fits exactly in there. Well done, Simon. See you when it comes out. Okay, so while that's in the oven, we're going to make a really nice, quick, simple tomato sauce for it. So I've got 1 can of tomatoes here, 200 mLs of tomato paste, 1 onion, tablespoon of garlic, and a little bit of chili powder. Let's get to the cooker. This is going to be delicious as well. So I've got a little bit of olive oil in there, just heating it up. I'm going to get our onion in. And our garlic. And above medium heat. I'll be back in about 3 minutes. Just 3 minutes there, the onions have changed colour. Just going to drop in that little bit of chili powder, some salt, some black pepper, then we're going to add that tomato paste, get that in there. And just for about another 3 or 4 minutes, let's cook this paste out. Stirring pretty much all the time now. Marvellous stuff. Let's add that 1 can of tomatoes. Roughly going to break them down with my spoon. We're going to stay on this above medium heat and we're going to go for another 5 minutes. Give it a stir every now and then. Okay, off goes the heat. That is absolutely beautiful. Now you can serve it just like that, or like me, I'm going to go in with this, give it a whiz and smooth it out. And there you go. Smooth, beautiful, nice and easy, nice gravy for our nut roast. Talking of nut roast, let's get it out of the oven. Okay, straight out of the oven. It feels good. Feels firm, but moist, you know? I'm just going to let that cool down a little bit before I cut it. Okay, so just cool down just a little bit. And I'll cut some slices out. Nice and crunchy on the top, but you can see it's really beautiful just in there, nice and soft. What I'm going to do, it tastes delicious by the way, let's get some of our lovely gravy, our tomato sauce, get that on there. And that It's delicious. Hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up. Leave us a comment. We'll see you soon. Lots of love.